Okay, welcome to another video. Today we are gonna learn and today we are gonna study parts of speech, and I have a video.
You asked
Let me show you first of all. Okay, now you can see.
for a lesson on parts of speech. So here is nouns. But
From here, I think. Okay.
nouns can be a person, a place, or a thing. You can see I have lots of examples of different nouns. In this lesson, remember, you can pause the video whenever you need to. Karen loves playing cards. Karen is a person. Cards is a thing. I have my nouns. My neighbor has a garden. Neighbor, garden. I bought a new phone is my noun. All of these nouns are called concrete nouns. Why? Well, because you can feel them, you can see them. These are concrete nouns. But with some nouns, you can't see them, you can't touch them, you can feel them. These are called abstract nouns. And if any of this vocabulary is new for you, use your favorite dictionary or translator. I just want to focus on the grammar. I don't want to go over all the definitions of these words.
Okay, also I want to take some notes.
You can't touch them. You can feel them. These are called abstract nouns. And if any of this vocabulary is new for you, use your favorite dictionary or translator. I just want to focus on the grammar. I don't want to go over all the definitions of these words. You can see here, these aren't things you can see or touch, right? They're things you can feel or experience. Like time. That's an abstract noun.
Got it?
I know we can see clock, but you can't really see or feel time. Becca enjoys the freedom.
Time is abstract noun.
Working from home. Freedom is an abstract noun. What's your definition of success? Is an abstract noun. Martin has a fear of small spaces. Fear is my noun. So you know, nouns can be concrete, something you can touch, or abstract, something you feel or experience. Nouns can also be divided into singular and plural nouns. Singular means one. Plural means two or more. One dog, 2, 3, 4 dogs. One pen, 2, 3, 4 pens. One potato, 2, 3, 4 potatoes. Can you help me peel? Can you help me peel the potatoes? You can see to form a plural noun, we add s or es. I'd say 98% of nouns in English follow this pattern, but we can also have irregular nouns, meaning not normal. You can see the singular and plural forms are different. One child, 2 childs, 2 children. One man, 2 mans, 2 men. One person, 2 people is the plural. In very formal situations in writing, you might see persons. So it's possible to say persons, but day to day in a conversation with regular email communication, just use people for the plural. Your teeth are so white. I had to rake up the leaves. We've looked at concrete, abstract nouns. We've looked at singular and plural nouns and irregular plural nouns. If a noun has a singular and plural form, they are called countable nouns because you can count them, like dog and dogs. But not all nouns in English have a singular or plural form. Sometimes there's only one form. We call these uncountable nouns. I put together a little list of really common uncountable nouns that you need to know. Informations? No. Weathers? Luggages? No. There's only one form. I need new furniture for my apartment. I have a lot of homework. Here's a common mistake. I have a lot of homeworks. Homework is uncountable. No, some nouns in English can be countable and uncountable, but for today's lesson, you just need to know that there are different types of nouns. How many nouns do you see in this sentence?
Eric put the money into his pocket.
Right. 3 nouns. Pronouns. I have subject pronouns and object pronouns.
Okay, now it's time for the pronouns. I made the notes for the noun. Do you wanna see my notes? Okay, let me show you. Okay, you can see my notes. Parts of speech, noun. There are concrete nouns, abstract nouns, and countable nouns, uncountable nouns, singular, plural, incountable, and uncountable like money, homework, and this is a very rough note, and I'll make it better, but for now this is it.
I think you already know these. Me, you, he, him, she, her, it, we, us, they, them. These are pronouns make life easier. They save us time. Let me show you a few examples.
Subject and object. Wait, let me make the notes first, then we will go further. Subject and object.
Evelyn brought Joanna and me coffee. That's too long. I don't have time to say that. She brought us coffee.
Nice example. Let me note it down.
You can see pronouns replace nouns. Mr. Stevens gave the students homework. He gave them homework. My printer printed my document. It printed.
It printed it. Okay. My printer printed my document. My printer printed document. It would be it printed it.
Here's a simple guideline. Subject pronouns go at the beginning of a sentence. Object pronouns go at the end of a sentence. Common mistake. Me and her went to the movies. She and I went to the movies. Subject pronouns at the beginning of a sentence. Object pronouns at the end of a sentence. Yes, there are other types of pronouns in English, but for today's lesson, you need to know pronouns can replace nouns. They save us time. I have a full lesson on pronouns, which I'll link down below for you if you want more information. This sentence here, how can you change this using pronouns?
She hugged him.
Right, she hugged him. Verbs are actions like clean, jump, dance. You often see verbs in a grammar book in three forms: bare infinitive, past simple, and the past participle. Many times teachers do this. Verb 1, verb 2, verb 3. Yes, we also have a present participle, which is the ing form, but normally we don't say verb number 4. I asked a question. We jumped in the
Now it's time for the verbs.
asked a question. We jumped in the air. And don't forget, your verb needs to change depending on your subject. I ask, you ask, he, she, it asks, we ask, they ask. Don't forget about that third person verb form. So when do we use these verb forms? When do we use verb 1, 2, 3, and the ing form? Well, you need to study tenses in English. There are 12 tenses in English. For example, present simple, past simple, present perfect, future continuous. Those are tenses. I know verbs and their tenses is something really challenging for students. So I made it my priority to create a workbook on the tenses and only the tenses. I put together some verbs. Remember earlier in this lesson we looked at irregular plural nouns? Irregular meaning not normal on my store, and I really hope it can support you. But for this lesson, you just need to know verbs are actions. It's what the subject does. Most verbs in English have an ed ending for the past simple and past participle forms. These are called regular verbs because they're normal. Most verbs are like this. But in English, we also have irregular verbs. Remember earlier in this lesson, we looked at irregular plural nouns? Irregular meaning not normal. For example, let's take a regular heartbeat. Now let's listen to an irregular heartbeat. Does that sound normal to you? I don't think so. So we have irregular verbs. I've put together a list of some of the most common irregular verbs you need to know. You can see with irregular verbs, the forms change. Buy, bought. There's no ed ending there. Take, took, taken. There's no ed ending there. Unfortunately, there isn't a specific rule here. You just have to memorize the patterns. Jim was a teacher. We ate lunch at 12. I've known Sue for 5 years. Going back to tenses, the first two examples are the past simple, and the third example is the present perfect. If you want to understand verbs more, you need to study tenses. There are so many different types of verbs in English. You might see these in your grammar books. These are things your teacher will teach you. But for today's lesson, you need to know that verbs are actions. It's what the subject does. I have quite a few lessons on these topics, and of course, I'll link them down below for you. Take a look at this sentence. How many verbs can you spot?
I drank is a verb. Before I went is a verb. 2 verbs.
Right, 2 verbs.
Adjectives.
I have a list of nouns here. Okay, but sometimes we need to make nouns more interesting. We want to give more information to the nouns. Dog. Small is my adjective. Tall woman. Bright. A bright smile. You can see adjectives describe nouns. Paper. Crumpled paper. Comfortable t-shirt. Kind person. Adjectives describe nouns. We can have more than one adjective. Why not? Tall, American woman. Comfortable, tight, red t-shirt. Here I have 3 adjectives. I bought a new phone. New is my adjective. It's describing phone. Please wash the dirty bowls. Dirty is my adjective. It's describing bowls. Usually you'll see adjectives before nouns, but not always. The squirrel was scared. The food smells delicious. So whether your adjective is before your noun or after your noun, it still describes your noun. How many adjectives can you find in this sentence?
My house was cold, so I said in front of the warm and cozy fireplace. Warm, cozy, cold.
3 adjectives. Cold describes house. Warm and cozy describe fireplace. Adverbs are one of the hardest things to recognize in English.
Okay.
Why? Because there are so many different types and they all look different. We know adjectives describe nouns, like I sat in front of the warm and cozy fireplace. But adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs tell us how something is done. We call these adverbs of manner. She said goodbye quietly. Goodbye. She said goodbye loudly. Goodbye. She said goodbye angrily. Goodbye. Quietly, loudly, and angrily describe how she says goodbye. Adverbs can go in many positions. Yes, before the verb is also okay. These adverbs are describing the verb said. Adverbs tell us how much. We call these adverbs of degree. It's very cold today. Very is describing my adjective cold. We are almost there. Almost is describing my adverb there. Adverbs can tell us how often, how many times. We call these adverbs of frequency. I always drink coffee in the morning. Always tells you how often I drink coffee. Heather seldom goes to the movies. Seldom tells you how often Heather goes to the movies. Adverbs can tell us where. We call these adverbs of place. Come here tells you where. I looked everywhere for my glasses. Everywhere tells you where. Adverbs tell us when. We call these adverbs of time. Come here now tells you when. I'll do my homework tomorrow tells you when. To be honest, if you don't know what something is in a sentence, probably an adverb. How many adverbs can you see in this sentence?
Okay, later we can slowly go upstairs to the cafe. Okay, slowly is an adverb. Later is a time. Later, slowly, upstairs. 3, I think.
3 adverbs.
Prepositions. Okay.
Prepositions. I've put together a list of the most common prepositions in English. You need to know these. Prepositions can help us show direction, place, time, and I've included one more category, other. I walked past my favorite bakery. Past shows us direction. The lesson starts at 4. At tells us when. There's someone behind you. There's someone behind shows you where. You look like my sister. Like is showing us a relation. You look like my sister. You can see a preposition comes before a noun. Prepositions come before a noun. You already know what a noun is. Knowing these parts of speech will help make English easier to learn. Are there any rules for prepositions? Sometimes. Like we need to know plus month. See you in March. In plus month. We use on plus day of the week. See you on Tuesday. We use at plus time. See you at 10. So sometimes there are rules. But a lot of times with prepositions, you just have to memorize when to use them. So I want you to read in English. I want you to watch TV in English. I want you to listen to podcasts in English. You can see here we use in English. These are the types of things you need to memorize. Soon you won't need to think about prepositions. You can just feel the prepositions. How many prepositions can you spot in this sentence?
Wait, let me first
You can
make
memorize.
the
In you
notes.
to read, just have to their time. You want month. No you. 3.
Conjunctions.
I have 2 train carriages. They're connected by something, right? Well, in English, sometimes we need to connect. This is my connection. We need to connect 2 things. That thing that connects 2 parts is called a conjunction. I have coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. I know this looks very technical, but just remember, conjunctions connect. Conjunction, connect. Let's start with coordinating conjunctions. In a lot of grammar books and grammar resources, you'll see this, a very helpful tip. Fanboys. F is for, A is for and, N is for nor, etc. Fanboys can help you remember coordinating conjunctions. A coordinating conjunction can help you connect 2 parts, word plus word. I like mangoes and lychees. The movie was long, yet entertaining. You can see I'm connecting 2 words, and yet is just a less common way to say but. I can connect phrase plus phrase just means a group of words. Phrase. Leslie finished her book and started a new one. In your country, do you have the tooth fairy? When a child loses a tooth, they put the tooth under their pillow, and while they are sleeping, the tooth fairy comes, takes the tooth, and then leaves some money. So if a child is missing their tooth, they can say, my tooth is neither under my pillow nor on my bed. Coordinating conjunctions can connect clause plus clause is just a way to say subject plus verb. That's a clause. He was tired, but he finished his work. I was lost because my phone was dead. And when you say your phone was dead, it means there's no battery. Your phone is dead. A subordinating conjunction. Let's look at subordinating conjunctions. Usually give us longer, more complex sentences. Clause plus clause. We went for a walk after the rain stopped. We haven't seen each other since we graduated. I can book a ticket as long as I have enough money. It's important to note that some words can have multiple uses. Preposition. I want to lose weight before summer. Conjunction. I washed my hands before I ate. This is why it's so important to know the different parts of speech. If you're looking in a dictionary, you can understand what a conjunction is. You know what a preposition is. It's helpful to know this terminology. How many conjunctions do you see in this sentence? How a preposition is, Mary. You can understand what a conjunction is. You know what a preposition is. It's helpful to know this terminology. How many conjunctions do you see in this sentence?
I wanted to buy the shoes and the handbag, the first one, but with the second one I did not have my card with me because I had forgotten it at home. 3.
Yep, 3. Articles. Yep, we have 3 articles in English. A and the. I've also added no article because that's important. A and an are called indefinite articles. The is called the definite article. Articles go before a noun. First, let's do some examples, and then I'll give you an explanation on the differences. But mini reminder, with the indefinite articles, an comes before a vowel sound. Vowels being a, sometimes pronounced come before a consonant sound. B, C, D, F, all the other letters in English. And I think I forgot to mention Y can also be a vowel. Remember that. So we'd say an apple, an umbrella, an x-ray. What? An x-ray? X is a consonant. It's about the sound, not the letter. X-ray. It begins with an E sound. I bought a new couch from a website. The couch is blue. The couches on the website were expensive. My parents gave me the money to buy it. Couch Couches are expensive. Money doesn't grow on trees. If you use an or no article, we're talking about things in general. We're not being specific. I bought a couch from a website. You don't know which couch I'm talking about. You don't know which website. Couches are expensive. That's very general. The is specific. The couch is blue. The couches on the website were expensive. We use the when the speaker and the listener already know what we're talking about. I have 3 sentences here. Which one is not correct?
Okay, I have a homework, I think. Sandra is...
Right. It should
Sandra is a teacher, the birds are singing.
be Sandra is a teacher, because teacher is a singular countable noun. We need an article.
Okay, homework is uncountable.
The could also be possible depending on the situation. Ew, whoa, yahoo! Interjections show emotions. You can see they're not really words, they're kind of sounds. Sorry. This fish smells disgusting. Arnel released a new video. Interjections. Let me know in the comments what interjections are used in your country. Every country has a different sound, don't they? One of my favorite interjections is, "Ooh, it's time for a test." Test time. I have a sentence for you here. Can you please label all the parts of speech? You can see you might need to repeat a part more than once. Pause the video to do this.
All at once. Ouch is an interjection. Okay, you write it. Why you write it? Take it back. I is a noun. Just... Okay, I have to write it on the paper. Let me do that. So the ouch is interjection. Interjection. What is the spelling of interjection? Okay, there it is. Interjection. Okay. Interjection is a noun. Sorry, pronoun. I just reached. So it would be the adverb. Set is a verb. On, it would be the preposition. And is an article. Angry is basically showing the how angry. Okay, he's angry. No, he's angry. It means he is an adverb. Be is a noun. It's a name. It's a common noun. And is a conjunction. It is a pronoun. It might be a noun because it looks like a name. It would be noun, obviously. Me is a pronoun. Is a personal pronoun, I think. I don't exactly know. Let's check. Interjection,
Here
pronoun, adverb,
are the
verb,
answers.
preposition.
How did you do? Please let me know your score in the comments below.
Adjective, okay. For my bad. Then noun, conjunction, pronoun. Stung, I don't know the meaning of stung, so I write it noun, so it's incorrect. It would be verb. Okay. And the pronoun. 2 incorrect answers. Okay.
I know in English there can be much more complex sentences than this, but if this lesson helped you understand parts of speech just a little bit more, it's been a success. Thank you so much for watching this lesson. If you want that PDF on the 12 English tenses to really help you understand verbs, I'll link it down below.
That's it for this video. Parts of speech has been completed and I'll study it in deeply today. I'll see you later. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.